do not have Crohn's disease, ovarian cysts, ulcerative colitis, diabetic changes, motion sickness, anxiety, thyroid concerns, and other medical concerns that need to be ruled out prior to a diagnosis of IBS. Symptoms of IBS are chronic abdominal pain, constipation and diarrhea, or an alternating of chronic constipation and diarrhea, gas and bloating, and other digestive concerns. Irritable bowel syndrome is a chronic condition associated with chronic abdominal pain and abdominal dysfunction. This dysfunction may be due to several causes. This may be due to eating your food too quickly, not eating the right kinds of food, or eating the wrong kinds of food, or not eating frequently enough. This can also be due to a dysfunction of your brain's chemical messengers, which are called your neurotransmitters, that regulate how your nervous system works in your digestive tract. It may also be due to hormonal imbalances. There may be dysfunction in your digestive tract where you're not creating enough enzymes to digest your food properly, or there may be infection or dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is a condition in the digestive tract associated with an imbalance of your beneficial bacteria or an increase in number of other types of bacteria or yeasts that in large amounts can cause dysfunction. Conventional treatment for IBS involves the prescription of laxatives, antidiarrheal medications, or SSRIs. SSRIs increase one's production of serotonin, which is a neurotransmitter, which is one's brain chemical messengers, that causes relaxation in the digestive tract. Some of the common side effects of SSRIs are dry mouth, nausea, insomnia, changes in your libido or sexual function, as well as increases in depression or suicide thoughts. Common side effects of laxatives include chronic constipation, habituation, meaning that you will continue to need the laxative for a proper bowel movement, abdominal pain, and cramping. Antidiarrheal medications cause an increase of water absorption into the colon from the stool. This causes a harder and thicker stool and decreases diarrhea. Common side effects of antidiarrheal medications are a hard and difficult to pass stool, chronic constipation, and abdominal cramping. So there can be many causes of IBS. This includes sleep disturbances, food sensitivities, changes in your brain's chemical messengers known as your neurotransmitters, stress. Stress can decrease the amount of hydrochloric acid that you produce in your stomach, decreasing your ability to digest foods, and when they go into your intestines, they are undigested, which can cause gas and bloating. Hormone imbalances. Low amounts of progesterone or estrogen can cause a decrease in your ability to digest your foods properly, causing gas and bloating. Another cause of IBS is the way we eat our food. Eating food too infrequently can cause an imbalance in blood sugar. This can lead to an imbalance in digestion and cause gas and bloating. Eating the wrong kinds of foods too frequently can also cause symptoms. This includes foods that contain pesticides, added hormones, or other chemicals like aspartame that can lead to irritation and inflammation in the digestive tract. Another cause of IBS is chronic antibiotic use. The chronic use of antibiotics causes a decrease in your beneficial bacteria in your gut. Another cause of IBS is antacid use. The chronic use of antacids decreases the amount of stomach acid one produces. This leads to undigested food entering the intestines and causes gas and bloating. When someone comes to see me with IBS, I do a comprehensive intake. This includes asking questions about their hormones, about their heart, their skin, and in particular, their digestive tract. I then do a very comprehensive lifestyle questionnaire. This includes exactly what they've been eating every day, how long they've been going without meals, what type of protein or carbohydrates are in those meals, and what kinds of foods they're eating. I also take a look at social support and stress, if there's any recent stresses or if there is a current accumulation in minor stresses. I will also order some blood tests. This includes glucose to see if there are any blood sugar imbalances, thyroid panel to see if there are any imbalances in the thyroid gland, as well as a comprehensive metabolic panel and a complete blood count to rule out infection. I would order